Should we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just a minute. I'll share the screen. Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now the another interesting story all about wherein many different characters are there. The chapter name is The Poets and the Pancakes. What do you think the pancake here basically is? Any idea? What are the pancakes they are mentioning here?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. So basically they are mentioning about lot of makeup. Okay. See, the
Okay.
foundation will be there, right? So foundation is nothing but the kind of the pancake for them. So much of the makeup, what the women they use it for, for enhancing their beauty and all. That is what they are mentioning in the chapter name. So the poets and the pancakes. It means how are they working on the women and all to bring them up to enhance their beauty and all. So that is what the pancakes here. So two different pancakes are basically. The one is the pancake means like normally what do we make it like in the bakeries and all. The other one it means about the makeup. So the author name who has actually written this is the Ashoka Mitran, and different characters are there. The first character who is a narrator, he himself is Ashoka Mitran. He's a narrator. He is the one who has written it, and also he is narrating his own story also. That is why he's called as a narrator here. Now, he is the author and narrator of the chapter. He worked in the studio. This is very important. The name of the studio is the Gemini Studio as a young man. His roles were to observe life in Gemini Studios closely. So, what is happening? What the person is doing? What the makeup artist is doing? What is the other women who is actually getting ready? What they are doing? Actress, what they are doing? So, that is what his role is to observe each and every activity, what was happening there. Then narrate events humorously and critically. So, whatever is happening there, he has to actually narrate that. He has to inform them. Like, if you are there in the school, you have to inform whatever you want to do, you have to inform that to your class teacher. Then class teacher will be informing to the coordinator, coordinator will be informing to the vice principal. Same way, he has to do that. Whatever is happening, he has to inform to the other higher person and all. Then helps us understand how the film industry function. So basically how the film industry they work, how do they function, they will be he will be actually explaining all those things about. Then acts as a guide also for the reader through people and incidents in the studio. So he's a kind of auntie where he was passing the information from one to the other to the other, third person. So likewise every incident was being passed from one to the other. He gives an inside view of the film world with irony and the mild criticism. It means he was not very positive. He was, what do you understand by irony? Any idea? Irony. Vedic, am I audible?
Ma'am, there's a lot of net issues here. 1 second, I'll just change my net.
Okay. Okay, okay, okay.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Vedika. Completely, I can
Yeah.
hear you. Okay, so here I was discussing about the two words. Here he has mentioned that the inside view of the film world. So whatever is happening, we are also watching the movies, right? So we are just watching the ready-made movie, whatever we are getting it. But the people, the actors, there will be many people who director, producers, writers who are working throughout. So that is what the film world. So whatever is happening inside them, inside the studio, he is actually mentioning all of that with the irony. Irony means something with some funny way he is
Contrast.
joking, contrasting. Yes, he wanted to be positive, but actually in a positive way, he wanted to say the negative point of it. So the way of speaking that shows you that you are joking and you mean in the opposite way. So inside your heart, it is negative, but you are showing it in a positive way. So that is what is the irony. And a mild criticism. It means he was also mentioning some of the negative points regarding the studio, what happens there, basically. Then second character, Subbu, the makeup man, which is who is also known as the V.S. Subramaniam. Subbu is the chief makeup man at the Gemini studio. He is also called the tyranny of the makeup room. It means he is the one who usually take care of all the things. Tyranny means use of the power. So he's a person, since he's a chief makeup person, he takes care of each and every, individual who comes there for the makeup. He does it that. So that is why he is called as a tyranny of the makeup room. What was the role? Applies heavy makeup using the brand Pancakes. So using the pancakes, different kind of the foundations and all, he used to apply the heavy makeup. Considered powerful and close to the studio boss. So he is actually very close. He was actually very close to the boss. Now, if he is very close to the boss, he used to say each and everything. Whatever he noticed, he'll just go and say to the boss. So to come in the good book of the boss, he was like that. Very talented and creative also, generous and helpful to the others as well. Then he writes poetry and also he plays, though they remain unrecognized. Though he's a very good poet, but his poetry remains unrecognized. He represents hidden talent suppressed by hierarchy and favoritism. So what happened with him? Due to the hierarchy. So hierarchy means the levels of the domination, like the coordinator, vice principal, principal, the other person will be there. So same way, in his job also, there were the different people whom he has to report. And because of that, whatever talent he had, it was not coming out. Now, third person, the office boy. He is just a minor worker in the makeup department. He applies makeup to the actress who plays female role. He feels highly dissatisfied with his job. Now, why he was dissatisfied? Because he was a small makeup artist where no one knows him much. Believes his talent is wasted. So he was feeling like, his talent was not used in a proper way because he was not getting the good salary and all. So he feels that it is being wasted. He hates Subbu. Now, Subbu is basically the chief makeup person. He actually controls everybody. So he hates Subbu, blaming him for blocking his promotion. So because of this, he feels like because of the Subbu, he was not getting the promotion. He delivers long speeches on injustice and the communism. So he is a person who actually he delivers the long speeches on the injustice. So whatever wrong is happening, on that he will be delivering the speeches, and also on the communism. Communism is the government, the people, the group of the people will be controlling something. So on that he used to deliver the speech. He represents frustration, inferiority complex, and misunderstanding. So, whatever, since his work was not valued, was not recognized, because of that, he was most of the time frustrated. He feels that he is inferior there because he was working as a small makeup artist. And also, most of the time, he was misunderstood by the other people. Then the fourth character, the boss, whose name is S.S. Vasan, the owner of the Gemini studio and the editor of the magazine also. The magazine named Gemini. He maintains strict discipline in the studio. He encourages the moral values. He hates politics and communism. So this person, who is basically the small office boy, he delivers the speeches on the injustice and communism. But at the same time, the boss, he hates that politics. He hates that communism. He hates like the group of people leading something, which is communism. He controls creative freedom. So if someone wanted to actually work freedomly, he does not appreciate that. So he tries to control. Now, for example, if you are saying that, ma'am, I'll do this. So what happened? You wanted to do that. But what I am saying to you that no, Vedika, you should not do that. So ultimately, I am trying to control you. That is what is actually the controls creative freedom. So he symbolizes the authority, power, and conservative thinking. The next character, the legal advisor. A legal expert regularly invited to the studio. So there will be so many, the processing will be going on, so many proceedings will be going on. For that, every kind of the studios will have a kind of the legal advisor where they will be coming to the studios and they will be discussing that this is right, this is wrong, this is the way they should work on, this is the thing they should do it. Then here, what this legal advisor was doing, he actually delivered the long lectures on the legal matter, caused fear and the boredom among the employees. So ultimately, if I tell you, if you don't have the bio, right, and if I tell you that Vedika, you have to sit and learn bio now, will you do that? It will feel boredom to you, right? You
Yeah.
will feel bored. So that is what he used to do. He used to come to the studio and to the other person is giving the lecture on the legal matters and all. So everybody is used to get bored. Nobody understood why he was invited there. For what reason? To just have the understanding of the legal matter, which is not at all required. So it represents unnecessary authority and the confusion. So unnecessary kind of the authority and the confusion was created because this was actually not needed, but it was done for the boss because boss has said it. He has come and he has done that. The last character, Stephen Spender, a British poet and the editor of the Encounter magazine. So the boss, his magazine name was the Gemini, whereas this editor who is there, his magazine name is the Encounter magazine. Important part of it. Stephen Spender character is very, very important for a board examination as well. So he's a British poet for an editor of the magazine known as the Encounter. His lecture confused a worker due to the unfamiliar topics. Now, what happened? He also used to come to the office, to the studio and all, and he used to give the lecture. But ultimately, the people does not like him. Why? The reason because his lecture were based on the communism. It means the group of people leading or like the government actually. The government will be there and government will be controlling, they'll be planning all those things. Then the language was different. He used to use a very complicated English. Then his way of talking was very different since he was from the foreign. He was a British actually. He's a British poet. So because of that reason, many of the local people they did not understand the language what he is speaking because the accent was different. So this story is all around this Stephen Spender, where he has come and he has actually dedicated some speech or something like this. So he symbolizes the lack of communication between the art and the audience. So he did not had given his speech in a proper way. The others feel that it is not understanding for them. They got confused because of his speech. So these are the six characters. The first one, Ashoka Mitran, who is a narrator, who is the author also. Subbu, the makeup man, which is a chief makeup person, the office boy who feels inferiority. He feels that his value is being wasted. Then boss is there, who is actually always encourages the values, but actually he hates the politics and the communism. Legal advisor who comes and give the speech on the legal matters, which was not able to understand by the other employees. Stephen Spender, the editor of the Encounter magazine, he made others to get confused by using the foreign language, by using the speech on the communism or the other kinds of the ideas. So here is a summary now. Stage one, introduction to the studio. So Gemini Studio, they have introduced now. The chapter begins with a description of the Gemini Studios, one of the biggest film studios in the India. The narrator introduces the makeup department and explains how excessive makeup was used to cover actors' faces due to the harsh lightning. Now, you might have seen by yourself also, like we all watch the television. So on the television itself, we can see like, the actors will be doing so much of the makeup and all. So why they do the heavy makeup? It is to, when the light comes on their faces, it can get highlighted. So, due to the harsh lighting, they have to do the heavy makeup. If they do the light makeup, then what happens? The glow of them will not come out. So, because of that reason, they have to do the heavy makeup. Stage two, where the pancake makeup and Subbu. So the bran pancake is discussed. The pancake now name they have given for those kind of the makeup what they are using. So the bran pancake is discussed. It was used in large quantities. So that be it the liner, kajals, or all those things, they have given the name now all together as the pancake. Subbu, the chief makeup man, controlled the department. Though considered arrogant, he was extremely talented, kind, and loyal to the boss. So he was a main chief person, chief makeup person, and all. So because of that reason, he used to control everybody. Though he is very talented as well. The office boy frustration. The office boy complained about his sorry the office boy complained about his position. He believes that Subbu was the reason of his failure. So he was thinking, this office boy was thinking that whatever I'm doing, it is not reaching to the boss. Now, if it is not reaching to the boss, he was not getting the promotion. And who should make it to reach to the boss? Subbu. Subbu should do it. But he was not doing that. So he was feeling that because of Subbu only, he is not getting the promotion and he is the big failure. He spoke about the politics and injustice, but he did not actually understand them. Then author's personal experience. Who is the author now? Can you tell me who is the name of what is the name of the author? Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
So till where you have listened me?
Like
From where should I start now?
the last person.
The last person, Stephen Spender.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So he was the editor in the for the magazine The Encounter, and basically he was a British person, so that is why his speeches, what he has given in the studio, no one was able to understand, and they got so much of confused and all. So the story is all about him only, where he has come to the studio for the speech. Okay.
Okay.
Now, stage one, where they have introduction of the Gemini studio, where they have given. The chapter begins with a description of the studio, one of the biggest film. Just a minute, let me change the color now. Hmm. Hmm. So the chapter begins with a description of the Gemini studio, one of the biggest film studios in India. The narrator, now who is the narrator here? Ashoka Mitran. Okay. So Ashoka Mitran, he has actually introduces the makeup department and he explains how excessive makeup they will be using to cover the face of the person, of the actress. Now, why they use heavy makeup? So there is a reason they will be using the heavy makeup so as whenever the light comes on their face, it reflects them well. It make them to glow well. That is the reason they will be using the excessive makeup. What do we do is a normal makeup, but when we go to the parties and all, we do heavy makeup so that our face can shine. So that is what he was explaining about it. Then stage two, pancake makeup and Subbu. Pancake here they have given to the brand name now. Whatever they are using, the eyeliner, the mascaras, the kajals, or the foundation, the concealers, and all, those they have given the name as a pancake, the product name as a pancake. So the brand pancake is discussed and it was used in large quantities. So they were using that makeup in the large quantities. Now, what is the makeup? Or everything together, it is being called as a brand pancake here.
Okay.
Subbu, the chief makeup man, controlled the department. Though considered arrogant, he was extremely talented. Now, as he is a chief makeup artist, he only decides what need to be done, who will be doing it, who will not be doing it, and he's the person who will be reporting to the boss. So, though he was arrogant, but at the same time, he was extremely talented, also kind and loyal to the boss. To the boss, he was very loyal that whatever is happening, he used to tell in the same way to the boss as well. But now, in the stage three, in the next para, what happened? It shows the office boy frustration. Now, why he was frustrated? He was frustrated that his talent, his makeup, what good makeup he is doing, it is not reaching to the boss. And when it is not reaching to the boss, he is not getting the promotion. So he feels that Subbu is responsible for this. The chief makeup person who actually has to report about his quality of work, he is not doing that. And because of that, he was frustrated. So the office boy often complained about his position. He believed Subbu was the reason for his failure. He spoke about the politics and injustice, but did not actually understand them. So he will be talking, so much of things that it has to be done in this way, it has to be done in that way, and all. But no one listens to him since he was a small office boy. That's why he was frustrated and he did not like the Subbu because he was not putting forward about his work to the boss. Now, next, the author's personal experience. Who is the author here? The name of the author? Who is the author here?
Ashoka Mitra.
Okay, Ashoka Mitran is the author here. Now, in this, what happened? He explains his job at Gemini Studio. Now, he's talking about his personal experience. He clipped newspaper articles but did not understand his purpose. So, he was clipping means just taking out the small, small articles, cutting down small, small photos and all from the newspaper and collecting them. But he was not understanding what he is doing so. Just he was liking it, so he was doing it. This created confusion and insecurity among the employees. So other employees, what they were thinking that something he is cooking up, something he is making, but he was just doing for the time pass. There was no logic behind it. There was no purpose behind it. But the other person, other people who were there in the studio, they used to think that he is doing something big actually. Then anti-communism in the Gemini studio. It means The studio completely, they are opposed of the communism, where they do not believe that government should interfere in any kind of the things, whatever they are doing. The office boy political speeches were ignored because no one really understood them. So that is why here in the Gemini studio, since all were against the communism, it is called as anti-communism. They do not want any kind of the government interference in the studio. But the office boy, what he does, he usually talk about the politics and all. He gives us speeches on the politics. That is why he was not liked by anyone and no one understood them. Political awareness was shallow. It was hardly matter for them, except that office boy. Office boy, he liked that because he feels that on him it is happening. Then visit of Stephen Spender. Who is the Stephen Spender? Should we start, Vidika?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, till which point have you heard it?
The fourth paragraph,
Till which stage have
like
you heard?
like
Okay,
fifth
the
stage, we
fourth
have to
one.
start.
Just a minute. 1 minute, na? Huh. Okay, okay. I'll start with the fifth stage then. Just a minute. Okay. Now, in the fifth stage, they're talking about the anti-communism in the Gemini studio. As I told you, right? All the people were against the communism. Communism means the government controlling everything. So they do not want that group of people or the government should control the studio. That is why they all were against it. But who was the one person who was in favoring of the politics? There was one person in the studio who
The
was favored. Huh?
the office boy.
Correct. So the office boy actually he give the speeches on the politics and all, but no one was really understanding them that why he does it. So there in the studio, everything was against anti-communism. Again, an important part of the board examination. They do ask about it. Then last stage, visit of the Stephen Spender. Who is Stephen Spender?
I don't
Who?
remember.
Okay, he is basically the editor, the British. He's from the British, and the editor and the name of the magazine whose editing he does it. What is that? Here it is given. Hmm. Hmm. The Encounter magazine.
Yeah.
Okay, the name of the magazine is the
Okay.
Encounter, and he's the editor of that. The story is about him only here. The major point is about him. Now, what he did, he visited the studio and he delivered a lecture. But ultimately, the lecture was a very much failure. Now, why the lecture was failure? It is because no one was understanding what he is saying. The first reason it was why it was the failure. It is basically the topic was foreign. He has taken the topic which no one was able to understand. The language barrier. His language, since he was from the foreign, his language, the accent and all, it was entirely different from the normal people. Then the third thing is he was using the language which was very complicated for the normal people to understand this. Then he was using the long kind of the sentences and all. Because of that, the people who were available there they were getting confused. Then the culture difference was also one of the factor because of which everybody was not able to understand him. So what he was speaking, no one has understood. So that is what has created the confusion. No one was understanding that why he has come, why he's giving the lecture on that, and why they have called such kind of a person who actually cannot talk in the local language. So that is the main problem. Now here, uh, basically, what do they ask in the examination? They ask for the Stephen Spender, and also they ask like why the people at Gemini Studio were not able to understand the lecture.
Okay.
So all these reasons you need to write. First, you should write the language barrier. His English was very difficult and unfamiliar for them. Then the second
And it
thing
was
you can
like too long.
yeah, too long, or you can use the word better, the complex ideas here. Instead of too long, you can use
Okay.
complex ideas. So, whatever he was actually speaking, those ideas were based on the complexity of the sentences. Because of that, it was not reaching to the workers and they were not interested in it. Then, the third thing you can write about the different background. Right now, here, different background, it means others were the makeup artists. They were the office staff. They were the makeup artists. They were the technician and all. But why the Stephen Spender has come to give the lecture on? He was giving the lecture on the communism. Got it? So if I'm asking you to learn the bio, why you will do that when it is not going to come to your board examination? So they were also blank. They were thinking like, why he is talking about the communism when they are the makeup artists, when they are the office boys and all. So that is the reason it was a big failure and it leads to the confusion to the people. Now, how does the people they reacted towards it? The workers over there listening to him, actually they pretended to understand to look educated. So it happens, right? If we do not know something, we will be pretending it that we know everything. The same thing, the smart workers they did it. They pretended that they have understood everything just to show off, just to show them that they are educated, but they were not able to understand anything. Then second thing, they do not understood in reality. And ultimately, the lecture what Stephen Spinner has given, it has become the symbol of the confusion. So instead of the enlightenment, actually the worker should get some kind of the enlightenment through this lecture, right? You are there in my class, now you should understand something. If you are not able to understand something, if you're not able to lighten yourself, then what is the use of it? So for the workers also, it was just a symbol of the confusion, and also the enlightenment was not there. They were not getting out anything. So this adds what? This adds the irony to the chapter. Got it now how they have used the word irony? So because of this, the
Yeah.
irony of the chapter is there. So a lot of humor they try to give it, but ultimately it ends up to the irony of the chapter. Then at stage last note, ending note where later Ashokamitra understand the significance of the Stephen Spender and the Encounter magazine. And the chapter ends with the reflection on miscommunication and the ignorance. The miscommunication is that he was trying to put up some his points and all, but no one was able to understand. He thought everybody has understood, but no one has understood. So the chapter ends with the miscommunication, where both the parties were thinking something else, but were doing something else. Now, here,
Okay.
the satire on the film industry, how the film industries were, internal politics used to happen, the hierarchy was there,
Yeah.
the favoritism was there. So, because of the hierarchy and favoritism, some people who were doing the work hard, they were getting promoted. If they were not doing the work hard, they were getting the promoted. But the people like the office boy who was working hard, he was not promoted because he felt that Subbu was not moving forward with the idea of what he is doing to the boss. Then the talent often unrecognized. Like in the case of the office boy, the talent of him was unrecognized by Subbu, and because of which he was not getting the promotion. Then miscommunication between the artist and the common people, it happens, right? Then between the ideas and understanding, the Stephen Spender was thinking of something else, delivering something else, but then the worker who were listening were accepting something else. When power and insecurity, people in authority suppress others. It happens. Whenever the group of people are there, whenever the workers are there, the one worker will try to go up, the other will try to pull that person down. So that is what happens. It happens. Then minor workers feels ignored and frustrated. So the workers who work at the minor levels of the position and all, they feel that their work is not being recognized and they were ignored and frustrated there. Then politics and arts, superficial understanding of the communism. So they were not actually knowing the meaning of the communism, but blindly they were trusting it. They were anti of that communism of it. Fear of political ideas. They were in fear that if any, by chance, any kind of the political people will enter into the studio, then that studio will be, same kind with lot of politics which will start working. So that's about it. Then the terms pancake, a thick makeup used in the films, satire, it means the humor to criticize, communism, political ideology of equality, hierarchy, system of ranking, insecurity means lack of confidence, tyranny, use of power, conspiracy, planning, a secret planning which the other should not get to know, alienation, isolated, makeup department, it's a section where the appearance of the actors will be done. Then encounter, basically a kind of the magazine, which was for the Stephen, where the editing was done by the Stephen Spender. So that's about the thing. And the message of the chapter is true talent often remains unnoticed due to the power structure. So office boy talent was unnoticed due to the power. Whose power they're talking about here? The power of Subbu. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So power because of the power of the Cebu, and also the poor communication, sometimes due to the poor communication also it leads to it. Then the lack of understanding. Sometimes we do not understand each other, because of that reason also the talent will not come out of it. So that's all about the chapter. So any doubt do you have in this chapter?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, could you share the PDF of this too?
I'll share it. I'll share it. Okay. So just learn these narrator, the narrator Ashoka Mitran, about his
Yeah.
style. Then Subbu, the chief makeup person, the office boy with the inferiority complex, where he feels that his talent is not being recognized. The boss, he is not playing much role, but yes, he actually hates the politics and all, but he encourages the moral values. The legal advisor, he just comes and give the lecture on the legal matters and all, which was not understandable to the others and all. And Stephen Spender, main character, where he comes to deliver the speech, but yes, due to his foreign accent and the style, language, the complex words and all, because of that reason, it leads to more confusion. So that's all on the story. Now, I think from this, one more chapter is remaining. Apart from that, all the chapters are being done, if I am right. Correct?
I guess yeah, after
Till
chapter I
Indigo,
think
you have
yeah.
complete. Till Indigo, you have completed. After
Yeah,
Indigo, the
Indigo
chapter
completed.
was Poets and Pancakes. Just now we have done. And after Poets
Okay.
and Pancake, it is the Going Places, which we have done in the afternoon. And the last chapter, which is there, is the interview. So that we'll do it tomorrow. And maybe in some time, I'll message you tomorrow's timing.
Okay.
Okay. And then maybe we'll just do one or two poems also. Okay, tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, then. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye bye.